The Princess Who Couldn't Stop Sneezing. Chapter number 4. Taking advantage of his free time, Roman invited his friend Roderick to go undercover through the village. He needed some fresh air after so much pressure. Once again, they wore their commoners' outfits and wandered around the surroundings. Roderick was teasing his friend by telling how ridiculous he looked during the ball. Roman answered that he couldn't run to victory, that his mother had already spoken to Roderick's and they were planning a scheme to get him married too. They were talking and fooling around down the street when Roman saw a beautiful girl through a bookstore window. She looked quite pretty behind the counter ordering some books and helping some clients. Two women who were coming out of the store were happily talking, and he was lucky to hear them say, "Rosalind is very kind, isn't she?" "She's as kind as her father," the other responded. That was the way he learned the girl's name. Roman looked through the window again. He couldn't stop watching her. She had long and silky brown hair, which matched her beautiful big hazel eyes. She went from one place to another, placing one book here and another there. She did it so gracefully that she appeared to float through the air rather than just walking around. The girl felt someone watching her, so she turned around. Roman just barely had the time to hide behind the wall next to the window. When she looked again, she was looking at him directly, with a wide smile on her face. She had definitely discovered him spying on her. Roderick encouraged him to get him to the shop under the pretext of finding a book to talk to her. After much thought, Roman dared to get in. He took the first book he saw and headed to the counter to pay. But the minute he tried to talk, he was just able to babble. "Afternoon, good, I, book." The girl, with a smile, told him what the price was. He paid and kept standing there without knowing what to say or do. Roman wanted to ask her out. The words were perfectly ordered in his mind, but by some strange reason they couldn't go out of his mouth. So with not much to do there without scaring the girl, he went out of the bookstore to meet his friend Roderick. "How did it go?" his friend asked. "Not well," Roman answered. "I barely spoke 3 words and I bought a book." He showed the book to his friend, that immediately burst into laughter. "What are you laughing about?" Roman inquired. "Have you taken a look at the book you just bought?" Roderick managed to say while he continued to laugh. Roman slowly read the title, "Acne and Pimples Home Remedies," and then both had no option but to laugh at all their way back home. Some days later, Roman went back to the bookstore and bought another book. This time he was careful to look at the title, but he wasn't sure whether to buy one about boating or another about sailing ships. Since he wanted to look more interesting, he bought both. After paying, he stood there in front of Rosalind. He didn't dare to speak, but he didn't want to leave either. He didn't know what to do, so she decided to start the conversation. "Hi, my name is Rosalind," she said. When she noticed that he wasn't going to answer, she added, "My father is the owner of the bookstore." "My name is..." Roman wasn't sure if he should tell her his real name. He was afraid that she would feel intimidated by his title. "Roman," she declared. "Prince Roman." How do you know? The prince questioned her. He was sure that he hadn't appeared in any social event picture his entire life. He took special care to hiding behind a relative, and the only person in his family that appeared in mail stamps and coins was his mother. Your father comes every week, Rosalind stated. He buys books, talks with us, that is me and my father, and they play chess once a month. Did he tell you about me? Roman inquired with surprise. Yes, he's very proud of you. He says that you are very intelligent, and one day he showed us a picture of you. I saw it and… Rosalind hesitated a bit. She stopped herself before saying that she had found him very attractive, and instead she continued, "That's why I recognize you." Roman was completely surprised. He didn't know his father felt that way. He had always seen his father as a man of few words, at least at the palace, because, as he just heard at the bookstore, he spoke a lot. Roman and Rosalind spent the afternoon talking in the town's cafe. Since he didn't dare to ask her out again, she invited him to spend some more time together sitting somewhere near there. The next time they got together, when they were coming out from the bookstore, Roderick was no longer there. Roman saw him going down the street waving his hand to say goodbye. It seemed that he was willing to give him some alone time with the girl. When they got to the coffee shop, he told her that it was strange to talk to someone that knew so much about him. So to get even, he wanted to know more about her. So Rosalind told him that her mother had died when she was still a child, and that her father had taken care of her since that date. That before having the bookshop, his father had been a peddler, so she had traveled around the country with him selling books among other things. That way she had visited several countries, and some more through reading about them in the books they sold. Roman was amazed. He had never met a girl that talked like her. He was pleased to notice that she was not only beautiful, but she was really bright too. After the date, they went back to the bookstore, and he met Rosalind's father, Mr. Gabriel. He hugged him tight and told him that he was pleased to meet his best friend's son at last.